something happens. I've called this the sacred art of life, but what is connecting our clients to their soul spirit? It can be the tiniest thing. So in the first session, or maybe the second session, if we run out of time, I'll ask, what things do you enjoy? What things do you love doing? Or I'll hear it that, oh, I used to draw, or I love manga, or like these tiny little seeds. Oh, I used to cook, I don't cook anymore. Remember the depression, all the good stuff's gone, right? So these tiny sparks of hope, they will connect your clients to their spirit, to their soul. Something that ignites joy, awe, and wonder. Their reason to be alive. And you know what? It can be the tiniest thing, which I always just think is absolutely lovely to be part of that. So it might be, so some people want to go climb a mountain. Some people might want to dedicate their life to their grandchildren. They're being outside in nature, art, baking cakes, gardening, crystals, whatever, doing yoga, coffee, fishing, all whatever, it's always different. And these lights, these little glimmers, when mental health isn't good, when something has gone on outside, when there's a trauma, these lights have often faded. And again, I'm bringing us back as we finish here to the importance of feeling it in our bones for our clients to feel stronger in their bodies. It is essential for resilience. And this doesn't mean they're super strong. It's baby steps where people start to feel stronger. Yeah. Slowly, with every new choice, they will begin to feel stronger. I want you to notice this in your work. You'll already notice it. I'm just putting a framework in. And when these sparks start to happen, it's also really, really hard work. Remember, people we're working with are at the most vulnerable. I think, God, you're at your most vulnerable, you're depressed. And it's like, wow, we're working with people, looking for these sparks. Again, it's far easier to have the quick fix, the alcohol, and sometimes they do. And again, it's knowing we can get back on the path. However, when clients start to feel stronger and have that space, let's do this together now. Let's breathe, inhale, pause, exhale. They feel it in their bones. They're being propelled in the right direction. What I'm really talking about here is this otherworldliness of spirit, hope, faith. And it's more than mind, it's body and spirit. And so as everyone's interested in body, we need space for our clients' spirits to come in. Yeah, we need to have that space, because actually when they fall in and out of crisis, that's going to go. And those parts, remember, the body goes in crisis. We don't know where we are in space. I don't know, this is my arm, this is my leg. I'm panicking about feeling safe. They disappear. And these resources that are in our client's spirit and soul, usually from being children, yeah, something that has kept them well, and often a reason to live, is what we're creating this space for. And you've mentioned this, and this is where I hear again the power of nature, the forest. I feel safer. Some people who've grown up in a lot of chaos and trauma, they're safer in the forest without people, under the stars, next to the water. And yeah. And when people start to get well, therapy-wise, people like Eric Byrne talked about this energy, that energy, Benita, that you're feeling, right? As a physis, right? Or Clarkson called it metanoia. Of course, the place is called metanoia, but it's a metanoia, this energy. In yoga, they might call it life force in the East, or chi, or kai in Japan, or prana, what that is. So it's for each individual, what are they connecting with? Where are they regulating? Some people do not want to be around people. And that's absolutely fine. Encouraging them to go to those spaces, to experience that, and for you to be with them, and a place to bring, for them to come back and tell you what happened, or not. And interestingly, I'm bringing this in. I'm sort of bringing the psychedelics in the last 10 minutes here. So we don't have too much time to go into it, but some people are very interested. It's coming off the back of Gabor Mate talks about it. Bezel talks about it, the taking the drugs. Here we go. This was on the TV the other night. You'll probably get it on the telly. Milking toads for psychedelic venom. There's a lot of, forget the name of the ceremony in South America. Does anyone know that drug that people take in South America? Massimo, what is it? With an A. Go on, unmute, please.
Is it ayahuasca?
Yes, it is. Yes. So people are more open to maybe connecting with this space using psychedelics. It's not a space for me. I've taken enough drugs to know that drugs are no good for my mental health or anyone else's mental health. So it's not for me. However, I do work with clients who, so these aren't the ones in recovery, who they don't believe in any God, but they believe in nature. But the reason that they take psychedelics is to get to that inner space, to connect. Of course, the downside is that the serotonin's ruined for a week afterwards, and they feel depressed. But this is something just to be mindful of in our work. And today, as we move towards the ending, and again, today's about hope. We're not talking about, I'm not interested. We sit with trauma all the time. We sit with it, but our clients get well. So this is the lens that we've taken today. And I'm encouraging you to focus on where these sparks are, where that energy is that Benita had earlier with our client, where we get curious, because we start talking about awe and wonder. Rudolf Otto called this a numinous, I can't speak today, a numinous experience. Wow. And this numinous experience, he said, underlies all religion, but I would also say spiritual realms, and has three components when we experience these. Something called mysterium. So the numinous is holy or other. It's entirely different from anything we experience in ordinary life. Something that's bigger. It evokes a reaction of silence. For me, and I hear this in my clients, nature. I don't need to take LSD to see psychedelic things. I go into nature and I see psychedelic things that will never happen again. Yeah. If some people want to take LSD, that's fine. But for me, I get that in nature, in awe, whether that's in nature or I walk into a church or I'm in, or a temple or a mosque or who knows what the sky's going to give me. This is a lot of Turner's paintings, the skies, the clouds, the colors. So this mysterium. So another word, tremendum, provokes terror. This is interesting, isn't it? Terror. Because it presents itself as the overwhelming power. This is interesting where society may not want to speak about this, something that can't be controlled. Yeah. And also a word called fascinator, something that's merciful and gracious. So these experiences arouse spiritual or religious emotions that are mysterious and awe-inspiring. Is that the bird, the robin that appears, the rainbow, the footballers praying? We're all connected. To lean into that connection, no matter which door, or if people need to have the artifacts, the cross, whatever that might be, that we're all connected. And I'm encouraging you really to get curious about that. And to not hear that there's any coincidences. There is no coincidences. In therapy, there's no coincidences. The robin appeared at my window. I keep seeing robin. I keep seeing my lucky number. Clients come in saying, the younger ones will say, see my angel numbers, because it's on Instagram. See the angel numbers. Or a white feather fell from the sky. I keep seeing white feathers. That happened to me this morning, and that hasn't happened to me for years. I was doing yoga here and I thought, no, that hasn't just happened. And it did. Yeah. So there's no uncanny coincidence. There's no the weird thing. The weird thing has happened.